Welcome back into the Summer Stew.
That's right. This is actually the last episode in Argyle, Texas. That's right. After this, we will be back in our main headquarters.
We'll be back.
College Station.
We'll
be back in the 143.
And
this is episode 30.
We want to thank the Jarvis family for letting us record out of their hizzy, as the kids call it these days. It's been a lot of fun, and this is episode, not only is it our last one here, episode 30. 30 episodes.
0. We have made it to 30. So that
30
is
and counting,
30
baby.
Weeks.
And a lot of y'all said we could make it past 12. Not all of y'all, but there were some haters out there.
There were some
Obviously,
downers.
We put them in the ground a long time ago.
Facts.
But this episode, we don't have as much news this week.
There is not a lot of not a lot of updates, big updates from
training
the NFL.
camp's just going on, just training camp and baseball.
Not huge stuff going on, so
we're gonna bring you some interesting things that we've heard, and we're gonna give our opinions on that. So we'll start out with our stat of the week, brought to you by Andrews Logistics, our sponsor. Our stat of the week is about social media and sports. This was a study that was taken in 2022, so this year. Over 86% of people that watch sports from 13 to 37 years old, so most of sports viewers nowadays, prefer to watch the sports from clips on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, find the scores on their phones instead of watching them through main TV networks. So that's just saying 86% of sports watchers
basically
get their information.
People are lazy and they don't want to watch the game on the TV. They just want the highlights.
It's to show how social media has affected influencing
everyone.
Sports. And honestly, it's taken over a lot of things. And we're going to talk about that here in a second.
Right. Your player of the week. He will get talked about later on in this episode, so we decided to bring him up now. Mr. Trayvon Diggs ended last season with 11 interceptions and 21 pass breakups. He was a menace and a dog for the Cowboys. Very, very crucial piece to that defense.
Love me some Trayvon Diggs.
And so that is why he is our player of the week.
As well as so this is what we're talking about this week. So
this is right into the content.
Boom. Just appreciate the connection.
What we're bringing up is the role that social media plays today in the overall sports world.
Yeah, so I guess fill everyone in on what happened
the big thing with the Trayvon Diggs thing was this clip of CD burning Trayvon Diggs went viral, and so a bunch of people just started sending it to Trayvon Diggs over and over again, and then finally he just got fed up with it, and so he deleted his Twitter account. And so somebody posted, man, Trayvon's off Twitter. And I guess he just got annoyed with everyone flaming him for getting burned by CD, which I do think he got kind of overhated for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of training camp. You're practicing and stuff like
the
that.
The training camp
things
highlights,
like that will happen.
Well, yeah, I think this goes right into what we're talking about. So social media takes everything and just blows it up. Sometimes, or most of the time, I would say blows it out of proportion. Just takes when they're in the press conferences, it takes 5 words of what they said out of a whole paragraph.
Well, because
puts it out there and then takes it out of context.
That's one play from how many plays you think they run a day?
Like 300. I don't know.
Yeah, that could. I mean, like
that
could be CD's only catch that he had on Trayvon, but it's just that one thing that blew up because that's all that we saw.
Cowboys receiver TJ Vasher had a one-handed spectacular catch in training camp. In no way is TJ Vasher gonna start for the Dallas Cowboys. So
absolutely. It's practice.
You know, when you were playing in high school sports, there were a lot of times in practice you had this like amazing play. You never did on the field, you never did in a game, but it happened a lot in practice. That's why you have the practice all-stars and you have the real all-stars. So
that's right.
I mean, I think so. What we're talking about is how social media has just really affected players It's affected people's outlook on players, outlook on sports, games, and stuff like that.
I think a big thing of it is it's affecting people's views on certain players because of things that these players will release on their social media, like on their Twitter, on their Instagram, like what they think about what's going on in the world today, or like their political views and stuff like that. And I think that affects fans of these players and also like their overall view on certain people. And also, I think players like another big one, we've talked about this like 5 times, but I'm going to bring it up again. Kyler Murray, he used his social media to influence the Arizona Cardinals because the big thing was that he took everything Arizona Cardinals out of his Instagram, changed his profile picture, stuff like that, and was demanding and requesting a trade. But what ultimately sparked that was everyone looked at his Instagram and noticed that all these things were missing, and then ultimately he got paid.
I would say social media has taken over sports, as well as a lot of other things, but we're a sports show, so we're going to talk about sports. Social media has taken over sports, like you were saying, Kyler, like they do their business through social media. When a player has something to say, he puts it out in social media. Because news now is at just like lightning quick, man. It takes no time for news to get out and go viral and just everyone to see it.
Because as soon as a player posts something, literally everyone sees it because it's like you hit post and then boom, it's just out there for anyone to see.
In a sports organization, it's very hard to keep things secret now. Like the whole KD wanting a trade thing, that got leaked pretty quick. You know, just things like that where
stuff that they try and keep secret usually never ends up staying a secret because we get all these leaks and they show up on social media.
And then everyone knows about it because they post about it. So I think it's been good for sports though. So even though there are a lot of bad things about it, I think that like certain sports have really benefited from social media. Basketball, the NBA, all sports have benefited from it, but like I would say the NBA has benefited a lot from. You can see like because the NBA is such a highlight league. Like you put one little like dunk out there, it goes viral. People watch more. People click. It's all about clicks. You know, people clicking on it. And then you got all the players voicing their opinions. Obviously, the NFL, like training camp. Who cared about training camp before social media came along?
Exactly, because now we're seeing all these clips on your.
And they get us excited. You know, you're like, oh, he made that. I'm so ready to see that in a season, and stuff like that. So it's completely taken over. And then the bad thing, as we've seen with Trayvon. Now, okay, first of all, I will say, players delete social media when they start getting roasted on it, but they're loving it whenever it's just praise. You know, like when they do something good. You got to be able to
take both. It's a two-sided coin, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can understand if you don't want social media, but if you're just deleting it because you're getting roasted, I mean.
Well, and also that's the thing is like you just got to just endure it because like, yeah, you'll get flamed for like 2 weeks and then they'll just be on to the next thing. Another clip about something else or someone else is going to come out. Everyone's going to be on that and then no one's going to really talk about the Trayvon Diggs thing anymore.
I agree. But I think like social media, Twitter, Instagram, you could make an argument for TikTok, I guess. But things like, and it's a lot of Twitter for sports. Twitter, that's how the news gets out.
Right.
We have a Twitter account too. Go follow us at underreview143. Anyways, I think all of that just enables players to get stuff out, their opinions out more. Like before, a player, like in a press conference, players not really supposed to get up there and like bash their organization. They're not supposed to get up there and bash their teammates. But like you can really see a lot about the individual player through their social media. When Kyler scrubbed his entire social media at Cardinals, but when he was asked about it in press conferences, the relationships were fine. You know, so like they're trained to say certain things at the podium, but you can really tell a lot about how they are on
when they get by themselves. You know, when they're on their phone, they just kind of say whatever they want. And also the other thing I think that we've seen is like players on podcasts saying stuff. For one thing, Tyreek, the biggest thing about that one was talking about how he said that Tua is like one of the most accurate quarterbacks he's ever played with.
We talked about that.
And then the other thing I was thinking of as well was Baker Mayfield, right? Like basically just absolutely trashed the Browns on
on
somebody
a podcast.
Somebody's, I don't even remember who it was.
It was nobody important. It just becomes such a big thing now for players to voice their opinions, and it's all so quickly. And like I said, the clickbait, like you just post a clip. So like Tyreek goes for the clickbait. Tyreek says something outrageous. Tyreek's smart. He's doing a good job. He says something like, Tua is more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. That takes 5 seconds to say. So that goes out. That video goes out. Everybody, and it takes 5 seconds. Nobody wants to watch a long video anymore. It takes 5 seconds. You look at it and you're like, wow, he's crazy. So now everybody goes to listen to his podcast.
And everyone goes and watches the video and stuff like that.
So this is just enabling so many more players, not only players, but like also like podcasts now are becoming, obviously we have one. They're becoming, you can get more popular so quickly based on social media. It doesn't, like, you don't have to be decorated like a Stephen A. Smith, or a Skip Bayless to get popular through your podcast. You just have to find the right thing to say, the right highlight, and then once people see that, it takes off.
I remember back during the NFL season when Odell's dad posted highlights of Odell of like all the times he was open and all the times that Baker didn't throw it to him, and so that kind of made everyone like, whoa, what's going on over there? And obviously Odell was fired up about the whole situation. Like, he was kind of fed up that he wasn't getting the ball. Obviously his dad was mad because he was the one that posted the highlight clip, and then all of a sudden he's out of Cleveland and he's playing for the Rams.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, that's the thing with social media, is not everything is obviously not everything is true. Like, you can put together so many clips where a wide receiver's open and doesn't get past you. You can also put together a lot of clips where he's open and doesn't catch the ball.
I was going to say, the same thing. It's like if you, like whenever, like if you're a college scout and you're recruiting a guy from high school and you click on his highlight tape, right? It's going to be...
You're not going to see anything wrong.
It's going to be 3 minutes of his best plays, his best catches, his whatever. All you're going to see is touchdowns and these insane runs or whatever that may be if he's a receiver. But then, like... That's why most of those scouts, if they really like this player, they'll go just like choose a random game, click on a random play where, like, say he doesn't get the ball. Like, see, what does he do?
You have to dig through all the tape.
He's supposed to be run blocking. Does he block?
Yeah, nobody just watches, like, when you're recruiting, when you're going to draft, you don't just watch a highlight reel.
Well, because obviously it's going to be all the best. He's not going to show something of him getting or of him dropping a pass,
which is normal,
decked or something.
Yeah, so like players on social media, they're not posting like their mistakes. They're posting videos of themselves looking great. So obviously, like Zeke. Okay, I'll use that as an example. I've seen nothing but highlights from Zeke.
Yep.
This offseason. Mm-hmm. Zeke's back. Zeke's better than ever.
Talking about how he feels stronger than ever, which
I've seen that every offseason.
That's never the case because
every offseason
every
from Zeke.
Player that has ever done something in the offseason, they feel stronger. They feel better than they did last year. They're coming for a great comeback season or whatever. Like it said, every year about every player.
I think to wrap it up, social media has just
it definitely
increased.
Plays a huge part, I would say, in the sports world.
Yeah, and things are moving more towards the streaming, the social media with the sports world, that it's really just helped, and every sport has just gotten more popular because of social media.
Player popularity, like individually, guys on the team, like
because
their popularity
I'm on social
is
media and they're on social media, so it makes me feel like I have a network to them that works, because I would never, like, players will chirp back at fans. That never used to be a thing, like, individually. So it makes me feel like more important, more special whenever they do that. So I think it's just, we've seen it play such a big part. It's played a part in their mental health, their quote mental health. I'm not going to go into that, but their.
Because obviously Trayvon got fed up with it and he deleted his account.
But
I thought that was like overdoing it, but if it gets you in the
right
mindset to be a dog during the season, that's all I care about.
Just play ball and be good at it, and I don't care what he does with social media.
Exactly.
But I
just need him to be a ball hawk.
It's just been interesting to see the last 10 years how it's taken off.
How it has changed.
The percentage that I gave y'all at the beginning of the show in 2019 was 65%. and now it's 86%. So it's risen like 21% in the last 3 years. How big of a part social media has become in sports. But that is our perspective on that. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad necessarily. I think it'd be both.
I'm just sitting neutral on it. I understand the role that it plays. I understand that it's negative, but I also understand that there are some positives.
There are some positive
I
things
will
about
remain neutral on it.
I will as well. But there is one subject that we will not remain neutral on, and that brings us to our next topic. Man, Nicholas, we got a doozy of a story for y'all.
We do indeed.
From our guy. Just kidding, not our guy.
He is not our guy.
Aaron Rodgers.
He is our guy to hate on.
Aaron Rodgers came out, and man, did we need this? Did I need some comedy in my week? Aaron Rodgers came out and said over the offseason that he went to somewhere in Central America, South America, like a native tribe settlement, and took a psychedelic drug that causes hallucinations, a hallucinogenic drug. Basically, it's like you drink it for like a day, you're just hallucinating, then you obviously pass out, wake up, throw up, and you're done. He said when he woke up, he was a changed man. He knew nothing would be the same about him. He has more love for the world now, his teammates, his coaches, his relationships, people in his life, blah, blah, blah. That's Aaron Rodgers for you. So now he thinks he's coming back a changed man. Colin Cowherd said something along the lines of, yeah, everyone's, eaten something and thrown up before and drank something and thrown up before. There's nothing different about it. But Aaron Rodgers seems to think that that has changed his perspective on life, his outlook on football. Nicholas, let me get your opinion.
I did see this before you say anything. I did see that supposedly the NFL they're going to do nothing about it. They see no problem with it. He's not going to get penalized.
I don't think they need to do anything about it, but at the same time, your players over here promoting psychedelic drugs.
Yeah,
so.
Promoting going to, what was it, South America?
Somewhere.
Taking drugs from this random tribe.
Yeah. So, opinions.
Well, obviously, we've trashed Aaron Rodgers since day one, so
let us continue to do so.
Don't worry, people, that's not going to stop on episode 30.
He didn't, if anything, he just didn't help his case.
He just always...
He's getting trashed by everyone right now, not just us. Finally, it's about time.
He always does something that gets the attention onto him every offseason. He just does the most outrageous thing. Like, before, it was asking for so much money, right? And so everyone was talking about him in the offseason for that. And then now... it's
threatening to retire. That was his big thing.
Yep, threatening to retire. And then now it's this drug thing that he's taking.
He's just on a kick.
And apparently, I guess, he thinks that he's seeing everything clearly now. So if he's seeing everything clearly, then maybe he can see how dumb he was to ask for so much money so that Devontae Adams and all of his other weapons have left him.
I wish Aaron Rodgers would have had... not that I wish. I don't want the Packers to be good. But, I bet, the Packers were wishing Aaron had this clarity before all the contract talks because he's the reason he has no receivers.
Yep.
Because he took all the money. But Aaron Rodgers likes to have clarity after... It's a funny thing. He has $50 million in his pocket per year. So I think he got clarity maybe on I don't ever need to take this drug again because it makes me feel terrible. And I don't know. He said
it was a dumb
basically
decision.
He said the hangover was not fun afterwards. But
he got it. He got clarity. So it doesn't matter.
See, this is the problem. Okay, if the NFL was going to punish him for anything, it'd be for recommending. He recommended it to everyone. He's like, hey, everybody, go try this.
I better not catch
don't try that.
Jerry flying anybody out to South America to take some drug.
I'm not going to lie. I think us and Jerry agree on a couple things and a couple things only, but one of them is definitely Jerry does not like Aaron Rodgers either.
Yeah.
So I don't think that.
Rightly so.
Week 10, ladies and gentlemen, we will be at Lambeau. Not me and Nick. Well, maybe me and Nick.
Actually, you know what? Who knows what will happen by then? Who's
maybe
to say?
Jerry's listening right now and wants to fly us up there. Hint, hint. But I just think Aaron Rodgers doesn't help himself, and not that I care, but I cannot stand how this is what I'll say. I cannot stand how arrogant Aaron Rodgers is about football. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl 11, 10, 10, 11 years ago. As a wild card team, he took them to the Super Bowl and won it. Since then, he is 7-9 in the playoffs.
Ooh.
He does not beat the 49ers, and he is not
0-4.
He has not made it back to the Super Bowl. So, I don't think that he has anything to brag about. I don't think that he has anything to feel good about.
I would agree.
All right, and I'm not just saying that about Aaron Rodgers. You know who else? I mean, I don't think Kyler Murray has anything to feel good about. Like, there's a bunch of guys that haven't done anything, but Aaron Rodgers acts like he's all that. He acts like he's right there with Tom Brady. Guess what, Aaron Rodgers? You are 6 Super Bowls shy of being right there with Tom Brady.
Which is a immense number.
And you will never be anywhere close to Tom Brady.
It is only because he keeps winning MVP. Somehow,
I don't know how, he's in a trash division, and he had Devontae Adams. I do not think Aaron Rodgers will win MVP again.
I think there's a possibility that the Vikings win the North.
I think there's a possibility the Lions win the North over the Packers.
I mean, I don't
heard it
see
here, folks.
The Packers being the same because
now the Bears will stay the same.
Aaron Rodgers' one receiver is gone. Devontae Adams
his top receiver is Alan Lazard. I'm not saying our wide receiver core is much better, but
the Vikings got a coaching. Mike Zimmer is gone, so who knows?
They have an offensive coach.
Maybe this is the move that they needed.
Justin Jeff, Adam Thielen,
all of their good offensive
Dalvin
weapons
Cook
are coming back. Yes,
and their defense. I'm pretty sure their defense got short up a little bit.
I think that Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback.
Kirk Cousins could get you there.
If you get enough weapons around him, he's a quarterback that you can win with.
And now the Packers are vulnerable. I don't think that Matt LaFleur is very good. I think he's been riding the coattails of Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. Guys, Devontae Adams is, okay, I know Cooper Kupp put up the numbers, but talent-wise, like, last year Devontae was number 2. The year before, he was the number 1 receiver in the league. I love Cooper Kupp, but, like, there's a solid chance Devontae reclaims that spot again this year with a better quarterback, a more competent quarterback, and not a money-hungry quarterback, and Derek Carr. So, I mean, losing Devontae, I know he's just a wide receiver and quarterback's the most important position, but that is going to hurt the Green Bay Packers because they only had one notable receiver.
Well, because all these guys, or the receiving core that they have now, these guys are like wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3s if you put them on any other team.
Yeah, Alan Lazard's not a number 1 receiver.
Absolutely not. And obviously, Devontae Adams put up all those numbers with the fact he was probably double covered every play because he was the only receiver on his team, and so obviously he's going to be way more successful.
He is an insane
in Las
talent.
Vegas,
and so losing him,
which is what I honestly think that move for the Raiders offensively that makes them so much better. But the biggest thing is their defense is so bad. I
also heard that the Raiders have one of the worst O lines right now. That's not going to help either.
Yes, but I'm a Derek Carr fan.
I love me some Derek Carr.
I have to be honest with you.
Derek Carr has put up with so much on that team.
He really has.
And he deserves a playoff win.
He still managed to take him to the playoffs last year.
If Derek Carr made it to the Super Bowl, dude.
In round 1, but hey, he got him
there. If the Raiders made it to the Super Bowl, like I would love to see that. I would probably root for them unless they're playing the Cowboys. If the Raiders made it to the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys aren't making it to the Super Bowl, so
that won't be this year, I'll tell you that much.
It definitely will not be. Next year with Sean Payton, we might have a chance. That's right, I said it.
Yep,
Fire
Sean
McCarthy,
Payton.
hire Sean Payton. But I think Aaron Rodgers needs to find himself.
Just get off his high horse. He has
You know what I think he needs to do?
Nothing to be proud of, all right? Like he
You
hasn't
know what his girlfriend's name is?
won a Super Bowl in years.
Do you know what his girlfriend's name is?
I actually do not.
Blue of the Earth.
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Can you say that again?
The color. You know the color of the sky?
Blue?
Blue of the Earth. I don't know what's last name, what's first name, or if that's all a first name, or if it's all a last name.
I'm assuming that's like, what is it called? Stage name or whatever?
I don't know. I just know it's
That is
Blue
definitely
of the
not
Earth.
her name.
Well, that's not her birth. Well,
Her birth name?
I don't know, man.
Blue of the Earth. Man, Aaron Rodgers really knows how to pick them. Picks the winners, I guess.
Look, Aaron, I just hope that you get destroyed this season and the Packers get destroyed this season. And I think if the Packers do bad this season, that Aaron will probably end up retiring. He's not staying for another year.
celebration
stink.
time if that happens.
Yes, we will have a whole show dedicated to Aaron Rodgers retiring if that happens. Mark my words.
And will we be talking about his achievements? We will
Nope.
not. We will be talking about his non-achievements.
Well, in the last 10 years, I fail to see the achievements.
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but if you don't win the last game of the season,
Nobody cares.
nobody cares. And when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, nobody cares.
And the one thing that they like to talk about is the fact that Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. The Bears are terrible.
Everyone owns the
Everyone
Bears.
owns the Bears.
We're playing them this year, and we
You're
will own the
probably
Bears.
going to own them again this year because they're so bad.
So will the Vikings, and so will probably the Lions. By the way, the Lions are looking a lot better, guys. Be on the watch for some Dan Campbell and the Lions.
The only issue is Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is pretty bad.
I think DeAndre Swift is a solid running back. I really do.
They got good weapons on the receiving core. Amon-Ra, St. Brown.
The only problem is Jared Goff. He's just so bad. He's just so bad.
We will see, though. We will see.
Well, here's we like to end our shows on Under Review. Brought to you by not Michael Irving, sorry. Dak Prescott. An
The new
inspirational
generation.
quote. Yes. If you're a competitor, you want to win. That's enough to play for. Simple as that. That's all you got to play
It
for
is
is
as
the
simple
win.
as that, Dak.
I would agree.
Hey, I'm rooting for him this year and every year that he's our quarterback.
All right. We don't think the Cowboys will do well this year, but
We would not complain.
prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong. Please.
And everyone else in the world.
Our
wrong,
job is to
because
say it how it is, but sports, anything can happen. That's
At
the
the end
beauty
of
of
the day,
sports.
we live or die for the blue and white.
We do. We do. We thank y'all for coming in this week, for joining us here on Under Review, listening to our
last
social
one in
media
Argyle.
spiel.
We will
and
be
Aaron
back in
Rodgers flaming.
C-Stat.
Yeah, we all will get to see the new setup next week, and we look forward to it. This will also probably be the last week we split screen. We're going back to full screen. So,
Because we will have a better setting, a better area for you to look at. So be excited for that.
yeah, be on the lookout. Cannot wait to see y'all next week back at the 143. Have a good week, and we will see y'all next time.